What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to talk about episodes 6 and 7 of Young Justice. So starting with episode 6, this was not too simple of an episode, surprisingly. We get the introduction of Artemis, officially, not just an arrow that got fired randomly in the gymnasium. And she seems okay as far as personality goes, but she's a bitch, but she's not like a massive bitch. She just kind of has a mouth on her, and some of the characters don't really like her too much, but she works, she gets the job done, she's skilled. They do end up coming around towards the end, Aqualad's like, you played a big part and everything. There's a resolution and everything, but that is a pretty big but right there. She might be an infiltrator, because the assassin they fought, who, by the way, really cool personality, I liked her a lot. I'll get to the other two in a second, especially one of those two in particular. But, yeah, she had a cool personality, but she had ties with Artemis, and Artemis is apparently Green Arrow's niece, but Red Arrow / Speedy walks up behind this bitch in an alley, and he's like, alright, we both know you're not his niece, so I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I got my eye on you. That's interesting. If she is, like, the infiltrator that they were talking about, they have an infiltrator in their midst, it's definitely curious that if it is her, are they just gonna like kind of just let it be, or is it actually gonna be like a twist where it's actually not her? Because the obvious choice is her, but it'd be interesting if it wasn't. But I guess I could talk about more of the episode. But if it's not her, who else fucking could it be? But yeah, let's see. I guess like I said, I should talk about the rest of the episode. So where should I even begin? Fuck. We got the Fog, which is like these microbots that can just blow up buildings and steal a bunch of information, like hacking on steroids. Very direct approach, but I like it, it's cool. And you had the part with Wayne Tech, which was really cool, because I like that, we already know these are all superheroes and everything, but unlike, like, let's say, like, Teen Titans, which was good, and it was good in its own world and everything, but I kind of like that in this show, you've got, like, this Teen Titans-esque team, but then the regular superheroes still exist. Like in Teen Titans, I don't know if they ever mention the other superheroes. I don't think they do. And if they do exist, where the fuck are they? In this show, they exist. They're out doing their own thing. You've got the Watchtower out there. You've got the Hall of Justice. You got Wayne Tech. Robin goes into Wayne Tech. He's like, giving his voice commands because he's Dick Grayson, or he's Jason Todd, or he's whoever. Whichever Robin. So yeah, I think that's a cool way of just fleshing out the overall world and really making it feel like a DC, not a DC like universe, it's not like it's shared with other shows, but just within the universe of itself, it feels very fleshed out so far, which I really, really like. But yeah, the overall episode, aside from introducing Artemis and kind of having the characters, bicker with her a bit, not a lot of character development overall, but definitely an interesting ending. And, Red Arrow is interesting. He went solo. I mean, that was pretty obvious, but I don't know if we knew he was called Red Arrow at this point. Will he join the team at some point? Probably. He still has that fucking attitude. Whenever he walks up to the superheroes, he gets that fucking bitch attitude. Oh yeah, I guess I'm just fucking replaceable, Obi-Wan. He just reminds me, it's not even like, he's more justified than Anakin Skywalker from the prequels, but there's just something, maybe it's how he looks. He looks like Anakin, but like, and there's something about the fucking, like, don't make me sit at the kids' table attitude that just rubs me the wrong way with him. And he was justified when he was talking about the Watchtower and how they were keeping it a secret, but at this point it's like, dude, just join the fucking team. Unless we find out that the Justice League is really still dicking around the Young Justice team, which they very well could be, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I enjoyed the episode overall. It was fun. Now to talk about the two things, the other two henchmen. First of all, Claw Guy, don't care. Spider-Man. Okay, why the fuck is Spider-Man in this fucking show? Straight up, like, this is fucking Spider-Man. Like, Iron Spider, like, whatever. Like, the suits, the fucking webs, the webs coming out of the wrists, or, like, the fucking, like, top part of the wrist, I guess. Like, that's, like, suable right there. That's like lawsuit material right there. I don't know which one existed first. There could totally be the possibility that this guy was actually in DC before Spider-Man was created, but That's insane how similar they were. Like, I know DC and Marvel have their rip-off characters, but that is fucking similar. And very specific, too. Like, Darkseid and Thanos are obviously extremely fucking similar, but they're both kind of the archetype of these big overlord fucking badass guys. This is like a spider person. And then they both have, like, essentially the same basic outfit. It's really weird, but it was funny. I wish I'd gotten my live reaction to that. Just that part was wow. So yeah, that's episode 6 though. Not much else to say. I'd probably give it a 7.5. Wasn't quite as good as the last episode. Not as strong on character development, but it was still pretty good. It was still animated well. Good fight choreography. I liked the scientist chick. She had her own distinct personality. Same with the main assassin. They both had their own distinct personalities that made them, I won't say three-dimensional characters, but it made them more than just thugs like the other two guys. The Spider-Man guy didn't even talk. Or the Claw. I don't think the Claw guy talked either. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm finding out more and more that I like Wally less and less every episode. Kid Flash. He's a cliche character, and in a show that I think has such a high standard so far, a character that cliche just, I don't know, he's kind of whiny. I will say he's whinier than Red Arrow for sure. I don't even know why I'm giving Red Arrow the flack when obviously Kid Flash is whinier, but it's just he has those little moments, like he ties himself up in the fucking webbing to beat the guy, and then he's like, oh, little help, and he's just whiny, he's cliche, I don't know. He works well with the other characters, they all have great chemistry, and that's another thing I don't think I've mentioned yet in any of my reviews. The characters have wonderful chemistry, they all work really well off each other, especially when they all get mind-linked. It's really good dialogue, and yeah, I really like that. But yeah, it's just something about him. Well, not something. It's that he's cliche, but it's that he's cliche and whiny. But at the same time, I think he can grow, he can mature, and become like a better overall character. But that's not to say he's terrible as he is. I mean, he is kind of cliche, but it's like a super massive nitpick. I want to make that clear. In any other cartoon, any other standard cartoon that's just okay or just good, I would be like, okay, that's that character. The Michelangelo or whatever, for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reference. But if fucking, what was I saying? But in this show, the standard is higher, you know what I mean? So it's just, he's kind of out of place in that. But I'm making it sound way worse than it actually is. He's totally serviceable. He's honestly fine. It's just because I think the show, at least for me, has a higher standard than your average show. He is a bit on the cliche side, but not a big deal. Totally my opinion. Not going to detract from the overall episode or the series because of that. I mean, personally, maybe a little bit, because he is like a main character, but speaking objectively, it's totally fine. And like I said, he can grow, and he does have room for a lot of character development. So, yeah, but with all that being said, I'm going to mention the Civil War trailer real fast, because there was a Spider-Man in this episode, and I haven't made a video about it, and there's really not much to say. The trailer itself was really good, gets you pumped. I don't feel like they showed too much. Maybe a couple too many action scenes, but hopefully there's more really good ones in the movie. The big moment, though, the end of the trailer, obviously what I'm going to focus on, Spider-Man. Not much to say. He looks great. He sounds great. The dialogue was good. It was an awesome entrance. I hope that it's going to be really, really fucking cool. Yeah, that's really, he has a really good old school 60s design that looks really nice, modernized. He's got those cool, like, animated eyes with, like, they look like they have, like, little shutters on them, like a camera. I don't know if they can take pictures. I don't know if he got that from, like, Tony Stark. Because this is, like, a freshman in high school Spider-Man, so that's, like, kind of crazy that he'd have a suit like that. Like, people said, I thought the Amazing Spider-Man 1 costume was fairly believable for being, like, homemade by, like, a guy in, like, the middle of being in high school. This costume is like, whoa. So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. People who are saying they pulled a Doomsday, that's bullshit. Like, honestly, so many people were complaining that they didn't see Spider-Man, and now that they showed him, everyone's fucking bitching that they showed Spider-Man. It's so hypocritical, but even if it's different people complaining and it's not hypocritical, which I think it is, they didn't pull a Doomsday. We didn't see the resolution of the movie. We didn't see everyone come together to fight the villain. We just saw that Spider-Man is there. We still don't know who's going to win. We don't know if Spider-Man is going to switch sides. We don't know if that's even the final battle of the movie. So, Yeah, they did not pull a Doomsday, I'm just saying. And it was already announced that he was in the movie. We didn't know Doomsday was going to be in fucking Batman vs. Superman. So anyways, I'll just move on to episode 7. But I'll give this episode of Young Justice a 7.5. Not quite as good as the last episode. Still really good. Moving on to episode 7. Okay, so episode 7. This episode... fucking Wally, fucking Kid. I didn't like him in this episode, to be completely fucking honest. I really didn't like him. In the other episodes, I was like, yeah, he's cliche, you know, whatever. In this episode, no. He got character development, but no. Trying to impress. I guess her name's Megan. I was gonna probably assume Marcy because Martian, but I guess it's Megan. She likes magic, and he doesn't. He does not believe in magic. He thinks everything is scientific. You know, he doesn't really believe in the supernatural. And I can identify with that. Personally, I can identify with that. But he pretends to be into magic, and he's making these really cringy excuses for why he likes it, and, you know, Artemis is seeing right fucking through his bullshit, which is fine, but it's just, oh my god. But I loved the tower. Everything that had to do with Dr. Fate, or Mr. Fate, what was it? It was Dr. Fate, maybe? I'm not sure. Everything that had to do with him and the helmet and the tower was all badass and awesome, and the guy himself, I forget his name, the old man, he was really awesome too. But yeah, and the villains, the one guy didn't talk much. The other one, the one with the little devil horn, he was fucking annoying. He had a really obnoxious voice, really obnoxious dialogue. I guess he was supposed to be, but yeah, so then we had an annoying villain, we had annoying Kid Flash. I wasn't a huge fan of this episode, personally. But the stuff that was good in it was really good. The stuff with the tower, and the stuff with the magic, and the stuff with the old man himself. I wish I remembered his fucking name. All that stuff was great. And he died, which was pretty crazy. I'm assuming anybody watching this video has seen the episode. I don't think I need to give a spoiler warning. It's very obvious that I spoil the entire plot. So we got this guy, he dies on screen. He even tries to be resuscitated, which I was surprised. I was like, okay, he died. They're probably just going to leave it at that. But no, they try to resuscitate him. He says he'll be with, you know, his wife soon or whatever. They got the helmet ready and waiting to find a new Dr. Fate. Very interesting. And then, of course, at the end of the episode, he doesn't admit that he believes in magic, even though he clearly does, and he clearly changes a character. And he's probably going to shift his attention from Megan eventually over to Artemis in terms of, like, a relationship, which even his relationship goal is now cliche. They don't like each other at first, and they probably will end up liking each other. Maybe they'll put a spin on it. And even if they don't, whatever. Not a big deal. Again, just high standards of this show. I expect more, but yeah, but I don't really have much else to say about this episode. The magic stuff was really, really cool. The villain was really, really annoying. Wally/Kid Flash was really fucking annoying. And yeah, I'm glad he developed a bit at the end, but just overall, yeah, not a fucking fan. So, yeah, not much else to say. It's weird, too, because I liked... the stuff I really liked in this episode, I liked a lot more than the last episode, but the stuff I disliked was just too strong, so... yeah, I'm probably going to give it around a 7. It was still a good episode, but, you know, there hasn't been a bad episode so far. But yeah, the villain and Wally were really annoying, so... yeah, with all that being said, I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. It was a still good episode of Young Justice. And I'll just wrap up. So... what did you guys think of these 2 episodes of Young Justice, if you've seen them? If you haven't, well, you got spoiled, I guess, but whatever. Comment down below what you guys thought. You can give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both of those would help me out a lot. You can follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. Give this video a thumbs... oh, I already said that. I did it backwards. Fuck. Subscribe. You think I wouldn't fuck that thing up after so many times? Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.